Hello everyone! Thank you so much for tuning back to the Minecraft Emporium. Today it's going to be a talky kind of exploration type video, and we're going to be looking at the best overworld biome. They have to be in the overworld and not technique, just chopping down trees, in order to get the maximum amount of wood. Or that being said, which overworld biome, if you were to come in with your ordinary regular tools, will allow you to get each piece of wood the fastest. And before I quickly give you the inside scoop as to which biomes are the best and which ones are really bad, I want to tell you about the method for today's video. So what I would do is plop myself in the middle of a biome, give myself a diamond axe, of course plenty of food, and an elytra just to travel between biomes, but that's not particularly important here, and I would hack away. I would get exactly 2 stacks of logs, timing how long that took, and then dividing that by 128, of course, to tell you how many seconds, in milliseconds of course, it takes to get a single piece of, log. I would like to get all one type of log, but, that doesn't exactly matter. Moving on now, I'm going to have to tell you about some of the best and worst biomes for getting your wood. Alrighty everyone, you know how we do it here. We like to hop into things as soon as possible. So starting off with the absolute worst biome for getting wood, we go to the plains. And I say plains not as the, plains forest, but as the one tree in a completely flat grassland every 50 blocks or so. And that took 3 seconds on average to get just one piece of wood, and that's actually a pretty good thing. I mean, you have to just constantly run and run and run. A good thing about the plains is that they often have large oak trees, and so that kind of improves the time, but generally do not go wandering through an open grassland trying to get wood. I don't think anyone would, but that's a terrible idea. In 10th place, we have the mountain biome, and trying to traverse all of the rocky terrain and with dense coverages of snow and a few leaves, it makes it a quite poor way to get wood. But it's still quite okay, and we get on average 1.765 seconds per log. Again, pretty slow compared to the ones at the top of the list, but then again, for being at the top of a literal mountain, it's kind of okay. Moving on to 9th place, we have the Mesa Plateau. Very much like the mountain biome, Mesa Plateaus, they have large clusters of trees, but they're spaced very far apart. And so the reason why it actually scores higher than something like the plains is that they are very far apart. But if you find a good pocket, you can get a lot of wood from a Badlands modified plateau, wooded, something along those lines. And for that one, it took 3 minutes, 27 seconds, and 59 milliseconds in order to get 2 stacks of logs. So you're going to be spending 1.6 seconds on average getting each piece of wood. Again, who would go to Mesa Biome to get wood? But then again, it's a biome, so it has to be included on our list. Number 8 is the savanna, and as you know, they're the wonky shaped trees spaced rather far apart in the open grasslands, granted only a moderate score of 1.549 seconds per acacia log mine. Again, really not your best option there. Moving swiftly on, we have number 7, which is a swamp, something that no one really thinks about, and for good reason. The trees are quite tall, and there's a dense block of leaves, and it's just a terrible way to get wood. And that one's gonna take 13 seconds and 95 milliseconds on 2 stacks of logs. But okay, but let's move on. Number 6 is the spruce forest, and that one is going to take 3 minutes and around 8 seconds in order to get your 2 stacks of logs. Now, a spruce forest, you probably know, is very dense, but there are just so many leaves that get in the way. It's just awful, really, to navigate. And so we only get about 1.47 seconds for each log. Coming in at number 5, we actually are starting to inch into the sub 1 second, and that is the 2x2 jungle trees. And that will get you in 2 minutes. The times are just getting flattened down, and 8 seconds in order to get you 2 stacks of logs, which is basically a stack every minute, which is pretty okay. One thing that slows the jungle down is that it has these branches. I should probably mention at this point that one of the stipulations for this challenge was you have to mine the entire tree, because no one likes floating trees. That's a rule. And so the branches of the 2x2 jungle tree kind of slow down the process. However, we get about 1.001 seconds per each log mined. Now we get into the sub 1 realm, and that is the 2x2 spruce tree at 4th place. Now, a lot of people love their 2x2 spruce trees, and it's perfectly okay, right? We're talking about biomes here, so I'm talking about the mega taiga, and that gives you about 0.9765625 seconds per log. I'm going down very precise just because people love their 2x2 spruce trees. So one of the problems with them really is that they're a bit hard. I shouldn't really say that because people will just plant a 2x2 square of sapling and get lots of wood that way. But the reason why I put a little caution on that is because we have 3 items on our list which are scientifically better and faster at getting wood. And those are, coming in at bronze medal number 3, the birch forest. It's kind of a rare biome, but at the same time, those trees are densely packed together. There are no leaves down at the eye level for the player to mine through. It is just sticks of wood packed closely together, and you don't even have to jump or do anything. They're just within reach of the player standing on the ground. It's truly crazy. That gives us about 2 minutes and 3 seconds for 2 stacks of logs. And at number 2, we have the forest. This is the densest, I imagine, of all of the biomes. Even more dense than the jungle, I would say. It's a bit crazy. And so for that, we are going to award a 0.947 seconds per log. Insane, actually. I don't really like navigating the forest just because of how dense they are, but at the same time, the logs are so densely packed together. And finally, I know you've been waiting for this, we have the number 1 spot. Ladies and gentlemen, drumroll please, we have the dark oak forest. The dark oak logs are packed just almost adjacent together. You're basically mining a large rectangular block of wood. That is the dark oak tree. There are so many dark oak trees pressed tightly together, you can get, in under 2 minutes, 2 stacks of logs at 0.90 seconds per log, and that puts it at number 1 place. I doubt anyone has actually made it to the end of the video because of how long I've been rambling, but to say the least, I think our findings are extraordinary. If you do enjoy a little bit of effort that I put into making these videos and enjoy the kind of scientific, a little bit quirky, and generally all around excellent quality of the Minecraft Emporium channel, feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and generally have an extraordinary rest of your day.